Good morning. It's the 3rd of June. I just wanted to give you an update on our construction process. Suzanne's behind the camera helping us with this. This is the gym corridor that hasn't changed, except right now it's full of a lot of the cabinet work that goes in our new development. They brought a lot of this in here and we'll start installing it next week, beginning with upstairs. So you can see all those cabinet work here. As we go down this way, is one of our original hallways that you all remember. That was low in height. It's actually about 4 inches higher, but we couldn't go any higher than that because of all the mechanical work that's up above that, but it will be vastly changed. New lighting, new ceiling grid, all of those things. In here is one of the new classrooms, which after we occupied phase 1, the quilting circle will be able to occupy this area temporarily until phase 2 is done. Their new home's up the way, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Lighter, brighter, new ceiling tiles. They're heavier, so there's better insulation properties in them, which will help with our heating and cooling costs. The lighting's more efficient, so that'll help with that way. So then if you follow me this way, there's another classroom here that's identical to the one we just went through, so I don't need to show it. Same thing applies to it as the other. Also, all new doors and door frames in here. Be a lot lighter finish color and just a lot brighter and make everything a lot lighter. This will be the permanent home of the quilting group. And hard-working head electrician Bob over here in his rocking chair.
Hi, Bob.
Hello. This will be, like I said, the permanent home of the quilting group, but for now they're not going to be able to occupy it because phase 1 is immediately on the other side of that wall. We're going to have cranes in the air and a lot of activity, and we didn't feel like it was safe or advisable to have them in here. But same thing, new lighting, new storage closets, new everything pretty much. Continuing on, we're now in what will be the new east-west corridor from the existing narthex, which is on the other side of this wall, towards what we're calling Fellowship East. And we'll pick that area up as we move on. Coming around here is our 2 new men's and women's bathrooms, multi-stall. There'll be a drinking fountain here, and then 2 new bathrooms. We've gone to extra tall doors in these areas to give another feeling of dimension and height. They've got the first coat of paint on these walls and are scheduled to start installing the wall tile and the floor tile tomorrow in these areas. And when we get upstairs and the bathrooms up there, you'll be able to see what the tile will look like. It's the same tile here that's up there, so you'll be able to see those. New toilet stalls in here, just really needed restrooms close to our worship facility, that we've needed for a long time. No 2-foot wide doors. This is our new elevator, which is completely installed. They'll power it up early next week and should be operational in 2 weeks. Then we can move upstairs to the office. This is our new stair railing that they installed about 10 days ago. It'll of course be painted, but just a lot of steps. If you want to use the steps, you get a lot of exercise. Stairs here is just the lobby with the elevator here. One unique thing about them is the way the doors are set up is downstairs. It'll open on the corridor side, and then when we get up here, it'll actually open on the back side of that directly into the office area. And moving this way will be the reception area where there'll be a desk area here across this. for any visitors to be greeted in this area. Then when you move this way is the new work area with all of the cabinets that go in these areas. They delivered those. This hole here is for the printing center, where one of the copiers will be set up here. Then there's the second one will go downstairs in the downstairs work area, and we'll show that. One unique thing about this is the ceiling design, where there's LED rope lights that will go all the way around both of these recesses. They don't have all of it in yet because we've got the electricians concentrated in other areas of higher priority. It'll go all the way around, and then we've got a lot of other accent lights around it, so it's really good lighting for everyone working in these areas. One of the things too that you just saw there is we did decide to add windows in 9 spots throughout the facility, 3 of them in this office area to give more natural light in these areas. And I'll point out some of the others that we chose to add, when we get to them. There'll also be accent lighting around these columns here as well, to provide, lighting in the corridor area. It's a really unique feature that I personally haven't seen anywhere else. This is a large storage room for bulk copy paper. Anticipate perhaps maybe some file cabinets, things of that nature be back here and available, but out of sight and not clutter up things. This is one of 4 offices like this. I've got plastic over this right now, but there'll be the glass installed here shortly in an aluminum window frame. Plus each one of these openings will have a wood door with a glass side light and a glass transom over the top of it. So again, light being transmitted through, and also just for a good idea to be able to see into the offices. They all have that. Same thing here. Same thing here. And then this is pastor's office here. So you can get an idea of what the view is, will be through the windows and the large glass expanse that's on the east side of the building and also on the north side. The lower glass has been installed with the exception of 4 pieces of glass that they're expecting delivery on tomorrow. Then the remainder of the upper glass should be here a week from tomorrow. So it'll be installed within the next 10 days or so for that. One of the things that we decided to do fairly early on in the framing process was there was a wall here, and this is going to be a small conference room. And discussing the uses of the room and the size, we decided to take the wall out, and it's included in the pastor's office area to be used for meetings. It'll still have a conference table of some type in here, but we felt like that was going to be a more workable design. This area is open because it's going to have a glass wall and aluminum framing with 1 door in it, because that way, pastor, wanted to be able to see his visitors come in up here, and people can see him as well. So just gives a nice open view into that entrance area. These are some of the countertops here that they've delivered that will be installed once we get the cabinet work set, which they anticipate the upstairs, they'll start likely installing cabinets next week. So we're getting really, really close. Walls are painted, ceiling tiles in. These are the 2 upstairs bathrooms, which have the tile in them. Let me see if the lights are workable. No, they are not. But anyway, it's a neutral gray color, maybe what they call a grayish, I think. So men's and women's restrooms here. This will be Jacob's office here, so with the lights working here, you can get a feel for that. He also has a window looking out over the Fellowship East as well. Then there's storage room. This is where all of our communications equipment, our data work and all of that's in that closet there. Just get over here if you want. This is our music practice room. Again, large, a lot of outlets. There'll be cabinetry on this wall with storage for choir members, things of that nature in here. That window was originally planned. This one was one of them that we added to get more light into this area. And then an important feature that most people would know is at Floyd Lemon's suggestion, we added a door to access the roof much more easily with a platform. So that way we can service all of our rooftop units much easier. Plus we put curbs in, which makes a lot less prone to roof leaks and easier to service all around. Floyd keeps hinting about a beer garden up here. I'm going to see if that comes to pass. Over in this area here, as we proceed into phase 2, one of the things that's going to occur, and I think it's probably caused the most confusion among members, is a doorway will be cut here. A bridge will go across what's now the stairwell lobby, with our curved stairs, which stay in place. Then there'll be another opening cut in what would be the east wall of the choir loft. And that will allow a corridor to be built to dump directly into the choir loft, where a person who has any kind of physical limitations can still get up here and participate in our music activities in the choir loft because of our elevator, where they can get on the elevator, come over here and through this. If you look in the cornerstone, you should have received within the last 5 or 6 days, there's a drawing and explanation of what that looks like, because part of it will have railing where it will be open to where you'll be able to see the narthex and the curved stairways. So hopefully that'll help you visualize what that's going to look like. Okay, we're now in the main floor workroom area. Again, it's going to be similar to what's upstairs with a lot of cabinets around the perimeter and upper cabinets too, from what I understand. Also, there's a power center there to where we'll have our second copier will be here, so you won't have to go upstairs to make copies if you're here at the church doing something. This little area here will also have U-shaped cabinetry in it as well, so we're just going to have a lot of workroom area to do. This gets a drop ceiling in it rather than what they call a hard deck, with a sheetrock ceiling. So after they get done and convince that all the work overhead's complete, then they'll drop the ceiling in. One of the things we discussed to help with sound is the walls are insulated, but I asked them to go ahead and fill in that area and insulate the crack between the big beams that support the second floor and this wall, so that less sound will go up and over into the other rooms, where someone's talking loudly in one room, it doesn't interfere with a Bible study that's going on in the next room. This area here is where there's 2 offices here. I believe the envisioned is for ECC use. If and when we start up childcare again, which is something we get a lot of questions about, and it's something that we'll continue to look at and consider what and when. But anyway, there's 2 offices here. Again, they get glass walls and aluminum frames with a door in each, so they've got high visibility here in both of them. And so there'll be 2 offices very convenient to the entrance. Right here in this area will be a curved resection desk that comes around where someone can be positioned at, if we deem necessary. it'll be ready to go again. Part of it envisioning with ECC being here as a check-in area. This is our superintendent, Dave Smith.
Howdy.
He loves to be on camera. So here we're coming into the east entrance, which will have 2 sets of aluminum doors in it, and they will be where we can buzz people in, so we do have security in those areas. And when we get done in this area, we can go outside and show you what the outside area of the building is going to look like. This is what we refer to as Fellowship East. You can see it's a really large area. It's going to be quite bright. And one of the things that we've made allowances for is we asked them to add power outlets up above the upper windows, so that if after we've used this space for a while and have a good feel for it, if need be, then we'll add roller curtains in there, you know, that are electrified to where we can lower those if the sun's too intense and the light's too intense. So at least we'll try to hedge our bets that way. As you can see here on these, or maybe you won't be able to see, but all of the lower glass is installed except for, I believe, 4 pieces that should be installed early next week. The glass for the upper areas are supposed to be in a week from tomorrow, so within about 10 days we'll have the total building enclosed. One of the things they've chosen to do is they've started powering up our HVAC units to start getting the building acclimated, so that with all the cabinetry and everything's being delivered, that it's able to be acclimated before it's installed, which is a really critical item. This area here, what we envision is this is going to be pastor's adult Sunday school class will be in here. Also, I visualize this as being used for a lot of different activities, perhaps wedding receptions. I'm thinking our Christmas party can be here.
December 12th. Parish Life has booked the CTR Christmas party right here.
There you go. Start booking your reservations. So I just envision a lot of things that we can do with this area, and I think it's just going to be a great feeling space, you know, to do. Also, because of a lot of the phase 2 activities involving the narthex, where we feel pretty strongly that we're probably going to be a time we're not going to be able to make it into the sanctuary. So the staff has been in planning for probably the last 2 months or more with having our worship services in here temporarily for a period of time. I'm guessing, you know, it may be 2 months, perhaps longer. We hope not, but we just don't know, you know, to where we can have worship services safely. In these 2 classrooms here will be the 2 small group Bible studies, one being Steve Short's class and the other Wired Word. They're mirror images of each other. This is another area where we added windows. Originally, these rooms didn't have windows, so we added windows in these areas to get more natural light. But it's good size. They have a sink, so everybody can have their coffee pot. We're also adding a coffee bar out in the new Fellowship East area, because we know how critical that is to this congregation. There's also a shared bathroom here. Originally, this was going to be an ECC bathroom with 4-foot tall walls and kid-sized toiletries and that, and we decided with the others we have down in original classrooms and how these were going to be used to make it an adult room. So we have this shared area here. And then like I said, this is the other mirror image classroom. Like I said, we're doing more ceiling up below that beam, and they're going to stuff insulation in it to help with any sound leakage. The walls are insulated, but I found through my experience that sometimes sound likes to go up and over. So as a precaution, we're doing that as well. Okay, well now we're on the east side of the church with the new addition, and what we wanted you to see out here is the stucco work that's completed. Cross that's here by the east entrance. Also the translucent panels that are in several places in here, which they call cow wall. It's part of the design of it. And then over here, all of the window frames which are installed, the lower glass is mostly installed in the upper, so this will be all glass here. It does have some tint to it. I've had a few members ask about it being clear. It looks clear, but it does have some tinting to it and has some insulation properties to it, so it's not just normal glass. The overall thickness of the glass is 1 inch with a large airspace, which is important for energy efficiency. They weigh quite a bit. This is showing the north end of our new addition with the windows in there, and more importantly, we wanted you to see the stonework. They had worked extra hard to find a quarry, if not the same quarry, a similar quarry to what the original rock on our original building, 50 years ago was. To where when we get done, the idea is it looks like the addition has always been there. One of the things we're looking at, budget permitting, is we're going to look at repainting the existing building so it all looks the same, all looks fresh and bright with that. So we just lack this little bit of stonework here and a bit over on the west wall of the new addition. Around the corner is too muddy to get to. They just had another delivery of rock. And then they've got some steel lintels to put in above some of the windows before they can put that, and they've got that, so they'll be finishing that up. That'll allow this patio area to be finished, the pavers to be installed, and then the concrete for this driveway, the parking spaces along this side to be poured here within the next few weeks, where it's going to really start coming together amazingly quickly. Well, moving on here, don't trip on the plywood there, Suzanne, is the new music and art room, which Suzanne has great plans for, and I think our kids are going to love being in this area. Again, with kind of keeping up with along with the glass areas, is there will be a glass wall along here to this, and then back over here down this way to the door. So this area will have high visibility, but also will have some sound separation for the activities going in here. But if many of you recall, and I found some were aware of it and some were not, but this is the old East Courtyard, which was kind of neglected and overlooked. And so it was enclosed and the roof was raised up to make this a lot larger area. And then we have more of the translucent cowl wall panels that are installed here on the west side. Then over in this area over here, there will be more cowl wall that will get installed here as well. So again, we've got light coming into the areas to make it lighter, more open feeling, without it being direct. And they went with that, I believe, just to keep the sunlight from being too bright and too intense in areas that didn't want it. One of the things in keeping, if you notice through this video, both in the Fellowship East area and up here, is we chose to leave the bottom of the roof exposed and painted it so it's got a little bit different feel, but still in keeping, we feel like, with the overall church from the existing building in this. So the ductwork will be exposed in some areas, not every area, but a lot. It's still efficient-wise. It's a special insulated roof panels that are designed for this kind of application. So we feel like it's going to be a good look when it's done. Now we're getting ready to move into the original existing ECC area. There's 2 classrooms here that remained the same. We didn't finish them up. They had to come in here and replace the lower 2 foot of sheetrock because back in February we had the super cold temperatures. There was one water line that no one knew was there that froze and broke, and so it soaked some of the sheetrock and the insulation, so they had to cut this back and replace all that, which they've got it now replaced. Then these 2 rooms will be made like you'll see in the other 3 rooms, with new ceiling tiles, new lighting, new color, new paint, new tile floor. So they'll look the same, so we'll have some uniformity. One of the unique things about these as you move into this area By the way, this temporary partition won't be here when we're done. This will be an open quarter. These are what the new classrooms will look like, where each one has this built out and has a different color, where it'll be easy for teachers to tell kids which classroom they're in. So you can see this is one they've already got the new ceiling grid and lighting and tiles. And start, finishing this out to look like the others as we move south. You'll see. There's another classroom behind the camera here, which is not finished but will be at the same time as the others, which also has a bathroom in it. So there's no interior windows in this part, but this one will look like the others. So it gives us just a lot of space to, particularly during construction where we're going to be occupying this side and have to vacate the west side. They have a lot of questions about, where's room for elementary, high school classes, things like that right now we just haven't had because of construction. So we'll have plenty of room for classes. It's not their permanent home. The permanent home's on the west side, where now the offices that will be in phase 2 that will be completed by Christmas if all goes according to plan, to permanently occupy those areas. This gives you a little feel for, again, what the finished out the classrooms will look like. One of the things the contractor was nice enough to do is, because of the equipment, we had to move back from Good Shepherd from ECC. We needed someplace to put them. So they agreed to finish out these 2 classrooms. They put the first coat of paint on, but not the final coat. Put the new tile floor down, but have heavy construction paper over to protect it. That allowed us to use it to store things until we can permanently move into this side and get things, spaced out a little bit. And the same thing here. This is the original southeast entrance. I've had questions about that. People want to know if that was going to change, and that does not change. It stays the same. No difference to that part. Just newer, fresher look, to greet people when they come in this way. And as you can see, even more cabinets. We've got lots and lots of cabinets, which is great for storage. One of the things, this smaller storage room here, there'll be cabinets and things like that for maintenance and things like that, but also there's the plumbing and everything for stack washer and dryer, which was envisioned for ECC. So it'll be available, if we need that in the future, where that's set up and ready to go. Just have to buy the appliances. And then back here to all the cabinets. One thing here around the corner is more storage. Where we have another big storage area. Frankly, I don't know what's going to go in here, but I don't think you can have too much storage. So just lots of activity. It's really coming together, in a great manner. We're already doing planning, as like this morning, construction meeting, about half of it was spent discussing details for the beginning of phase 2 and how we can get moved out of the offices and into our new spaces so that we can vacate the west side so they can start demolition in that area as soon as possible. So, within the next 45 days, hi Floyd.
Hi Floyd.
In the next 45 days, you'll see a lot of changes, and we'll be very close to moving in this side, and then starting in phase 2 with enclosing the west courtyard. So stay tuned for developments and announcements.